In Pakistan, where resources are scarce, a traditional tinsmith is hidden in the seemingly ordinary streets. Today, let us go into the street story and see how the workers make affordable and durable tin buckets with simple tools and ordinary hands. The tin sheet in front of you is the raw material for making buckets. First, the workers will draw a fan-shaped marking line on the iron sheet to save the raw material of the iron sheet. So the whole body needs two fan-shaped iron sheets to be assembled. At the same time, the original rules need to be used to draw the marking line of the copper bottom. The workers will use iron maces to cut the iron sheets along the marking lines. After the iron sheets are cut, you can see this very simple plate rolling machine, which is the largest equipment in this workshop. The workers will adjust the stress position of the iron sheet to make a very standard arc of the iron sheet. At this time, the workers are holding a very sharp piece of, with just a scratch, a very straight line is marked on the iron sheet. It takes decades of practice to achieve this level. Then, two pieces of iron sheets can be spliced together, and the iron sheets are anchored and fixed with anchor nails. This process requires first fixing the positions of the iron sheets at both ends, and then using anchor nails to carefully fix the iron sheets at a certain interval at the splicing point. Some old irons will doubt whether the iron bucket anchored in this way will not leak, and this is the real test. The key to the level of manufacturing technology is to use a curling machine to curl the two ends of the main body. On the one hand, the main body can be reinforced. On the other hand, it is convenient to install the copper bottom. The reinforcement of the main body chooses this kind of thicker steel bar. After bending it into the arc size of the copper mouth, the steel bar can be placed in the groove rolled by the copper mouth, and the steel bar can be wrapped in the iron sheet of the copper edge using a curling machine. This can greatly improve the iron cylinder. Structural performance. The next thing to make is the copper bottom. First, you need to put the round iron sheet on a concave iron needle and use a sledgehammer to knock the iron sheet little by little to make the iron sheet into a concave copper bottom shape. Then use a curling machine to curl the copper bottom iron sheet. After that, you can fix the copper bottom and the copper body together in a curling buckle. This fixing method can not only ensure that there is no problem with the sealing between the two, it can also improve the load-bearing capacity of the entire bucket. The next step is to install the bucket's hanging connection method. The anchor nail fixation method is also adopted. In order to enhance the wear resistance of the copper bottom, the workers will also pick out long strips of iron sheets of appropriate size and bend them. Here, the iron sheet needs to be folded twice to enhance the wear resistance of the iron sheet. Then the iron sheet is bent into the arc shape of the copper bottom. It is also necessary to press out concave and convex shapes on the iron sheet. The shape is to ensure that the iron sheet will not be deformed when bearing the load. Then the iron ring can be fixed to the copper body with anchor nails. The next thing to make is the handle of the bucket. In order to allow the bucket to be smoothly put on the third generation handle, the material used is this 8mm steel bar. A hook is bent at one end and a plastic sleeve is put on the steel bar. Then a hook is made at the other end. In this way, after the handle is installed in the hanging child, the whole tin bucket is made. It's done. So after watching the whole process, how many of you have used this kind of bucket?